dad, but also a great uncle, grandfather, and a wonderful husband to my mum for 52 years. And very good friends to everyone that have met or worked with him through the years, so that everyone here today celebrate his life. Thank you.
Now, a word from Anne Russell, as most mature sister.
My last uncle, Howard, as it seems only his Welsh relatives called him, known as Eddy to everyone else, was my mother's brother. He was born on her 4th birthday. She soon got over her initial disappointment on finding that the birthday surprise she was told about was her brother, and not the doll she had been hoping for. My recent memory of their sibling rivalry was when the differences over the pronunciation of the name of a town in North Wales, meant that Joan had to issue a yellow card. But he was always a caring brother, being particularly supportive to my mother after my father's death. Howard and my father shared an interest in sports, especially rugby of course, and gardening, and spent many happy times together on family holidays. Howard was a great tutor for my brother John and myself, and was always there throughout our lives, with his jokes, his famous trick of pretending to cut off his thumb, and the crazy sense of humour which seems to run in the family. I will always remember him for his humour and for his kindness. I'm told that as a boy, his penchant for practical jokes meant that the congregation at the chapel in Cardiff, which the family attended, sometimes found themselves unexpectedly sweltering in tropical temperatures. Unknown to them, Howard and his friend, whose job it was to pump air to the organ for the hymns, pumped the instrument so that it would go by itself for a while, in order to sneak down to the chapel basement and adjust the heating boiler controls. Back upstairs, they watched in mischievous glee as people loosened their collars and found themselves with orders of service. When I moved to London 30 years ago, with typical kindness, Howard and Joan offered me a place to stay while I found somewhere to live. And again, some years later, when I moved house. Among gifts which I treasure are a display box for ornaments, which he made for me many years ago, and some photographs of scenic views of Cardiff, which he took himself. He used to like to talk about former times in our hometown, and he was pleased to see how it has developed in recent years and become an impressive capital city. The last time I visited Howard, he was watching Wales beat Argentina at rugby at the Millennium Stadium on TV. Now, I like to think he can join the celestial crowd, watching the matches through the open stadium roof, along with my father and their friends. I am glad that he lived to see the latest of his grandchildren, and that his end, when it came, was pain-free. My feelings on his loss are very well summed up in an extract from the American poet Linda Pastan, who wrote about attending the funeral of her last uncle. The last uncle is pushing off in his funeral skiff, the usual black limo, having locked the doors behind him on a whole generation. And look, we are the elders now, with our torn scraps of history, alone on the mapless shore of this raw new century. Although we may feel lost, like travellers without a map at these sad times, I remind remind myself that we can learn from those who have gone before us. I learned a number of things from Howard, the main ones being, firstly, family is more important than anything else. Second, always have time for others. Third, help someone if they need it, whether or not you have any responsibility for them. The way he and Joan adopted their elderly beloved neighbour, Haggis, who soon became an honorary aunt in the family, was a notable example. Fourth, whatever life throws at you, you can laugh at it and get things into perspective. Fifth, go out and explore the world beyond your immediate area. I will always remember him for these examples of his life's philosophies, which will help to ease the pain of his loss. In memory of Howard's attachment to Wales, I will end with some lines from the great 14th century Welsh poet, David ap Gwilym. I'm going to use Welsh here, but I will translate for you. Dros fy ngri, plebeiant un fyd, treiglau dagrau o achos gŵr dymuniol iawn, Gadawyd ef and cwmni dew. Over my cheek, a foolish flood, flow tears for that most pleasant of men. He has been left in the company of God. Finally, I will say, Dabwch chi am nawr a bendith arnoch chi. Goodbye for now, and bless you.
And before Joan comes up to say a few words, the grandkids, my kids, would just like to say a couple of quick words.
I remember my grandfather for the many places we have been and how he taught me how to make bread when I was younger. I remember my grandfather for teaching me the trick that makes it look like you could take off your clothes.
Now Joan would like to come up and say a few final words.
I would like to thank you all for coming today to say farewell to my, or Howard, as he was known in his hometown, our parents and family. The generous, loving support our family have received over these last few weeks has so helped us to cope, and we thank you for that. It is warming to hear all the different aspects of Ed's life from so many different people of different ages, and we thank you for those tributes. I was so fortunate to have met and married Ed all those years ago. But the trouble is, the more you spend together, the greedier you get, and the more of the same you want. But it can't be. Instead, endless memories come into place. And he was a right one for reminiscing. He would merrily pass half an hour bending your ear with his stories. Because he never was very fond of curtains in the house, we decided to leave these curtains open, so we can all say our last